Hello, everyone. Not only are we outside, but I'm wearing short sleeves because it's warm enough this morning for me to have my coffee on my deck, which is one of my favorite things about spring and summer is that I can be outside with my coffee in the morning. I usually take a little tour around the flowers in the morning as well with my coffee, but there's not too many up yet, green things, but no flowers. So we're back to questions again, and today's question is, what do you need to ask for? And then there's a second question, what do you need to speak up about? And what do you need to ask for? I need to ask for help. And this has been an ongoing issue with me my whole adult life because I want to do everything myself. And I don't want to ask for help. I had to sit and think about why I don't want to ask for help and what my issue is there. I like to do things myself because I like to spend time by myself, and that has been um, that has been a survival mechanism through motherhood and adulthood. Marriage is that if I can go and work on something on my own, then I get time by myself. But sometimes there's things that I can't do by myself. I have, especially since I have decided in the last, less than 10 years that I want to be a farmer, I guess, a little hobby farmer. There's things that I'm not physically able to do. I'm physically strong. I stronger than I look, but I'm also a small person. So there's just some things that I physically can't do and I need to ask for help with. And of course, I've had to learn the hard way with a lot of things. Last summer I put up uh, well, they call it different things, field fence, range wire, to keep my goats in. They've got to have a pretty substantial fence because goats are, well, they're escape artists. They like to get out just because, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence and they think there's better things to eat than what I'm offering inside their pen. So I had to put this fence up, and I had lined up help for it because I knew that it was not a one woman job. And these rolls of this fence, you know, they weigh they weigh a lot, a couple 100 pounds. And one day my husband was gone and I decided that I was going to try to run a little line of fence myself because how hard can it be? Well, that was all fine and good until I dropped the roll of wire on my foot. And it was bruised really badly. I could have broken it. And silly, silly. But I did think about why, I could have just waited for him to be home, waited for my help to come. I had a couple teenage boys, one of them being my own child, to help me lined up. But, I'm impatient and I want to get things done right now because I can't sit and think about it forever. So I have to learn the hard way about asking for help. And there's a few reasons behind it that I don't want to ask for help. And one of the reasons, gosh, before I say this stuff, I always am like, oh, don't share it, don't share it. But I think it's important and I think it's helpful to other people when I do share things that embarrass me. So I don't want to ask for help because I always have in the back of my mind, if I let them help me or if I ask them to help me, what are they going to want in return? Even though I am capable of selflessly giving my time, selflessly giving things, material objects, whatever, without a motivation, I always have this, I always call it the sideways look, that sideways look to other people and their motivations and their, reasons for helping me. What are they going to want in return? Am I going to be able to give them that? And is it ever going to be enough? Or am I going to always feel like I owe them? So I just don't ask for help. I just either don't do things, or I do them myself poorly, or maybe even hurt myself in the process. And things go undone. There's also a side of me, and this is the part that I'm embarrassed of. And maybe it's not anything to be embarrassed over, but there's a side of me that is ashamed that things aren't getting done. That I should be able to do it myself. I should get my boys to do it. I should. There's always this bit of embarrassment with asking for help, that I am not good enough on my own. And if I can't do it myself, it's not worth doing. And that's probably a bit of pride there. And pride goeth before a fall. Or pride goeth before dropping a 200-pound roll of wire on my foot and possibly breaking it, which I didn't. But, and yeah, so there's some shame, embarrassment, and possibly pride in asking for help. And even when help is offered to me, I don't want to take it, because I just think, I can just do it myself. I'll just do it myself. I have a very good friend of mine that has 2 boys, and they help me with things sometimes. And she always says, we're coming over to visit, but I want you to give my boys a job. They help me pull down my old wattle fence, along with the help of my boys. But I don't want to ask for them to work. It's so ridiculous, because if you're getting a crew out to do things for you, why can't you come up with something, Joy, to help, to let them help you? It's maddening. I can see the insanity in my own thinking and my own patterns, but it's so difficult to get out of it. And then the second question is, what do you need to speak up about? Well, I need to speak up about needing help. And I also need to speak up when my boundaries are violated. And I'm getting better at that. I put up my fortress of boundaries, and I'm trying to relax them a bit, because a fortress isn't healthy either. You need to have a gate on your fence. You can't just have, a high brick medieval style fortress around yourself all of the time. For a while, that was helpful. It was necessary. It was self-preserving. But I need to start relaxing that a little bit and use my own mind and my own intuition to know when to speak up about my boundaries being violated, rather than lock myself in, cloister myself in my home, not return phone calls, not text people back, ignore them, deny their existence, that sort of thing. So I will need to speak up about when my boundaries are violated. I practice with my family, whether they like it or not. Yeah. So those are your 2 questions for today. And I'm so glad to be outside again. Yeah, I love that. I think you guys all do love nature as well, and the birds are singing, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend. Today, I believe, every day I ask my husband what day it is. Today, I believe, is Friday. So, yeah, I will take the weekend off, of course. And yeah, so your questions for today, I'm blabbering again. Your questions for today are, what do you need to ask for? And question 2, what do you need to speak up about? And I look forward to your answers. Live and love out of the way you were created.